So I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to play the short stack. And the reason that particular topic's on my mind is that I found myself for the majority of the day yesterday in day 1A of the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure as a short stack. So the first thing that it's important to talk about is how do you know if you are a short stack? Well, in order to determine that, I use Dan Harrington's M system. If you don't know what this is, you definitely need to pick up Dan Harrington's book called Harrington on Hold'em. Volumes 1, 2, and 3 are all great, especially for up-and-coming tournament poker players. In Volume 2, he teaches about something called M. And what that is it's a way to gauge how strong or weak your chip stack is relative to the structure or the blinds at the particular level you're playing in a tournament. And the way you do that is first you calculate what's the cost if I were to play one whole round at the table that I'm playing at. Well, you know, you got to pay the small blind once, you got to pay the big blind, and then you have the ante all the way around. So let's say you're at a 10-handed table and the blinds are 100, 200 with a 25 ante. Well, let's see, if you have to pay the small blind, that's 100. You'd have to pay the big blind, that'd be 200 more. So now we're at 300. And then you'd have to pay the 25 ante 10 different times to get all the way around the table. So that's another 250. So 250 plus 300 would be a cost of 550 for one round of play. Now how you get your M is it's a multiple. How many rounds of play can you afford to play? Well, if you had 5,500 chips, you could afford to play 10 rounds of play since each round is 550. And if this is a little bit confusing, just click that rewind button, go back and work through the math with me again and make sure you really understand the stuff I just went over. It's really the fundamental of understanding how to play both a short and a big stack. So a short stack would be defined as one where your M is 10 or below. And in fact, I like to divide my play between two different gears as a short stack. What I call my desperation gear, which is when I'm at an M of 6 or below, and my simple short stack gear, which is the M of 7, 8, 9, or 10. Now when you're in the simple short stack gear, you basically can afford to, in select positions, actually play one pot without having to push all in before the flop. But you will sometimes, if someone comes in with a raise before you, you'll find yourself only having the option to push all in or fold. As opposed to if you're in your desperation mode zone, you only have one move before the flop, and that's to push all in or to fold. So I guess the first rule then you want to remember is if your M is 6 or below, you absolutely have to commit yourself that you're either all in or you're folding before the flop. If your hand's not good enough to push all in with, then it's not good enough to play at that point, which means you're going to be a lot more selective about the hands that you're willing to play.